Happy Monday, Tigers, and welcome back to the world's greatest elementary. Wow, Tigers, our fun run was amazing last week. All of our Tigers did a great job. I'm still wearing my princess dress. Had so much fun. Thank you so much to our PTA for planning, setting up the fairy tale run. And now, Tigers, it's your job to start collecting your donations and pledges for the fundraiser. Your teachers were given the total amount of laps you completed on Friday. With the help of an adult or caregiver, you can start calling or emailing your sponsors to get those pledges turned in. Money can be turned in online or here at school. Directions for turning in donations are in your Fun Run packet that was sent home. Remember, all Fun Run money is due by March 31st. Okay, Tigers, here are some amazing pictures from last Friday's Fairy Tale Fun Run and Courtyard Celebration.
South of the equator, navigator, gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. Deep sea diving round the clock, bikini bottoms, lager tops. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the front, two in the back, sailing along, and we don't look back. Flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun.
That was such an amazing day on Friday. Tigers, we wanted to give you a few recess reminders. First of all, on nice days for the rest of the year, we know that there will be lots of opportunities for outdoor PE classes. We wanted all of our Tigers to remember that we need to leave the cones that have been set up where they are. Mrs. Na and Mr. Rainey set those up for games and activities, and we can all help out PE by not picking up or moving those cones. And another reminder, our recess teachers have been noticing that some of our Tigers are taking off their shoes at recess. Tigers, for your safety, we need you always to be wearing shoes when you're here at school. And we don't want you to get hurt, and we don't want you to lose those shoes.
All right, Tigers, we have all of our midweek recess programs this week. Tuesday and Thursday, there'll be Recess Club in the Tiger Den during lunch recess. Wednesday, we have Workout Wednesday during lunch recess, and also on Wednesday, of course, we have Lunch Bunch during your scheduled lunchtime in the Tiger Den. And speaking of lunch, Mr. Abby, what is on this week's menu?
All right, Tigers, here is this week's lunch menu. For today, Monday, we are having grilled cheese. On Tuesday, we have chicken nuggets with potato wedges. Wednesday is going to be chicken teriyaki with rice. Thursday, we're having cheeseburger and how about pizza?
All right, Tigers, it's time to recognize more of our amazing Tigers who have been earning Tiger Paw tickets and were selected in this week's drawing. For kindergarten, we have Kaya in Mrs. Stamp's class, Charlie in Mrs. Hurley's class, and Lachlan in Mrs. K's class. Congratulations, kindergartners.
All right, now moving on to our first grade Tiger Paw winners. Alejandra, you were selected in Ms. DeGroot's room. Riker, congratulations, you're the winner in Ms. LeClesh's class. Alan, you were selected in Mrs. Unruh's room. And Jameson, you're the winner in Mrs. Nelson's classroom. Nice job, first graders.
Moving on to second grade, we have Jonathan in Mrs. Hortenkamp's class, Ryan in Mrs. Ogle's class, Noah in Mrs. Papini's room, and Mason in Mrs. Meek's class. Nice job, second grade.
All right, now moving on to our third grade winner. Brennan, you were selected in Mrs. Belmondo's room. Ruth, you're the winner in Mrs. Yassine's class. Princeton, congratulations, you were selected in Mrs. McAllen's room. And Hayden, you're the winner in Mrs. Mason's room. Nice job, third graders.
Moving on to fourth grade, we have Tegan in Mrs. Bradley's class, James in Mrs. Moffat's room. We have Jacob in Mrs. Shireman's class, and last but not least, we have Benedict in Mrs. Isley's class. Nice job, fourth grade.
All right, and last but certainly not least, our fifth grade winners for this week. Blair, you were selected in Mr. K's class. Charity, you're the winner in Mrs. Lish's room. And finally, Henrik, you were selected in Mrs. Heater's room.
All right, winners, when it's convenient for your class, they'll send you to the office to pick up your prize from the Tiger Paw treasure chest. Mr. Abby, what is going on with story time this week?
All right, Tigers, we have a very special story that Miss Jen is going to be reading. The story this week is called Shark Lady. We hope that you enjoy it.
All right, Tigers, we hope you all have a great week. Get those fun run pledges in, and remember,
It's a great day to be a tiger.
Hi, welcome back to Story Time with Ms. Jen, your librarian. We have a wonderful story today in honor of Women's History Month, and this one is called Shark Lady. Here we go. It was Saturday, and Eugenie wanted to stay at the aquarium forever. She wanted to smell the damp, salty air and stare at the glittery rainbow of fish. She wanted to keep watching her favorite animals, the sharks. Eugenie pretended she was walking on the bottom of the sea. What would it be like to swim with her sharks? To breathe underwater with gills of her own? More than anything, she wanted to find out. When the summer came, Eugenie's mother took her to swim at the beach in Atlantic City. Stuffing sticky gum into her ears to keep the water out, Eugenie dove down, down, down. The salt stung her eyes, but she didn't want to miss a single fish. Constellations of sea stars speckled the pebbled sand. She imagined a silvery fin standing strong on her back, slicing through the ocean current. To others, sharks were ugly and scary, but Eugenie knew they were beautiful. As she glided through the cool water, she wished everyone could see sharks through her eyes. But the sharks were only in her mind for now. Eugenie decided to learn everything she could about them. So she dove. This time, into books. Whale sharks, nurse sharks, tiger sharks, lemon sharks. Eugenie wanted to know about them all. She also joined the Queens County Aquarium Society as its youngest member. Eugenie's notebooks filled with sharks. They swam in her daydreams and on the margins of her pages. At home, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. A 15-gallon tank was much too small for sharks, but Eugenie saved her allowance to buy guppies, clownfish, and coral red snails. It felt as big as an ocean in her room. Their small apartment became an aquarium, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. As she grew older, many were still telling Eugenie what to do. Forget those sharks. Be a secretary. Be a housewife. Eugenie wanted to study zoology, but some of her professors thought women weren't smart enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the oceans, and they said sharks were mindless monsters. Eugenie knew better. Her dream was as big as a whale shark, so again, Eugenie dove. She plunged into every course she could. Her laboratory became her home. From sunrise to sunset, she studied how fish grow, how they behave, and how they were put together, both inside and out. Despite all of the people who didn't believe in her, Eugenie was becoming one of the smartest students in her field. Even after she earned her degree, many still doubted her. But Eugenie's work was just beginning. Eager to make discoveries of her own, Eugenie finally dove into the open ocean. In the Red Sea, Eugenie collected hundreds of fish, including 3 new species that had not been discovered before. On a research mission exploring the Palau Islands, Eugenie was diving alone when she encountered her first ever wild shark. She wasn't afraid. Instead, she thought it was beautiful. In Isla Mujeres, she dispelled the myth that sharks must keep moving to stay alive when she swam through dark caves, still and silent, full of resting sharks. Eugenie's daring heart grew bolder with each dive. Soon they began to call her Shark Lady. Eugenie had proven she was smart enough to be a scientist and brave enough to explore the oceans. As her courage grew, she began to love and understand her beloved sharks more and more. But she never forgot many still believed that sharks were mindless killers. Because of their scary reputation, humans were hunting sharks all over the world. Eugenie knew that sharks weren't stupid or mean. She was determined to prove everyone wrong. Eugenie fished through her mind and devised a brilliant experiment. Could she train a shark the way a person trains a dog? Were sharks much smarter than anyone knew? They were. Eugenie was the first scientist in the world to train sharks and even learned they could remember their training for at least 2 months after. Sharks were not mindless killers. Sharks were beautiful. Sharks were smart. They deserved to be studied, protected, and loved. And Eugenie's dream was now a dream come true. That's the end, my friend. This book has some really fun information and facts about sharks in the back. It also has illustrations of various species of sharks in the front. And I hope you all enjoyed the story, Shark Lady. Thanks so much. And remember, it's a great day to be a tiger.